notable call today. Barclays has downgraded Tesla to equal weight from the previous overweight rating. The analyst, Dan Levy, says recent rallies in Tesla stock have failed to acknowledge near-term fundamentals. The shares have been getting a boost after announcements that automakers are adopting the Tesla format for charging ports. Rivian just became the third automaker to sign up for the Tesla charger format in its new EVs, joining Ford and General Motors. We're joined by Will McDonough, founder and CEO at EMG Advisors. Will, thanks very much for coming on the show.
Nice to see you again.
It kind of reminds me a bit of Betamax and VHS. Of course, if you're the one who has the format, you have an enormous advantage. Is Tesla going to become the default standard for chargers in the US?
It appears so. I think it cements the fact that they just have a great lead in that, and that the car companies are realizing, let's focus on doing what we do well. Why do we have to rebuild charging infrastructure? It would be the equivalent of Ford Motor Company in 1950 saying, we're going to become Shell Oil or Mobil. It's unnecessary to build that piece of the infrastructure if a lot of it already exists. And so let's just standardize the plugs and let's just standardize that infrastructure such that all this stuff is a little bit easier for buyers of the cars to tolerate with the range anxiety and such. Let's just leverage that same infrastructure and focus on what we do well.
So what does this mean for other players who would like to set up charging networks like ChargePoint and EVgo? Are they in trouble here?
I do think that it's hard for them. Some of those guys are down almost 80% this year. I think some of these startup charging infrastructure companies and these startup EV companies themselves are going to have a hard time making it in this rate environment where access to capital is hard. The rich are getting richer in every industry. And so the Teslas, the GMs, the Fords are going to consolidate power. And I think a lot of those folks would beg to maybe be acquired in this environment.
That's interesting. We're looking at one ETF, CHRG, and solar and battery materials, but it is off its highs. Not that bad, though. I know we get a bit technical here, but is it possible that I could have a car with a different format, charger format, but you could sell me some kind of adapter so I could use the Tesla charge points?
Yes, and so what they're going to do with the cars that are already on the road with previous versions of plugs is they will send everybody an adapter and make that piece of it easier. And I think moving forward, this North American standard that they're calling it is going to be what all future manufacturing includes, which makes things easy. The Charge ETF that you reference is our ETF on the New York Stock Exchange that just buys copper futures, lithium futures, and nickel futures, because all of that charging infrastructure, whether it's ChargePoint, Tesla, whomever provides it, that's just copper demand. And so we think the safer way to play this, because of all the volatility in a lot of these emerging names, is just by buying the core commodities that drive all of it.
Sorry, who was that company you mentioned? Did you mention a company or an ETF there?
That's our ETF Charge that you referenced, the ticker CHRG.
Your ETF. I'm sorry, I beg your pardon. Yeah, I forgot that you guys ran CHRG. It's interesting. It's a chicken and egg thing, obviously. Unless people think I'm definitely going to be able to charge my car easily, some people think, well, I'm not buying an electric vehicle.
Yeah, they say range anxiety is the biggest concern, which is, am I going to be able to drive from here to wherever I'm going if there's not a gas station on every main street? And so a lot of this Tesla move is to make sure that there's ubiquity for charging infrastructure and that you're not only able to charge in your garage at night, which, is a big obstacle to people buying these purely electric vehicles. And I think, the broader that this infrastructure is and the more accessible I can charge my vehicle globally, then the more comfortable I'm going to be in my ability to source a charger, when my battery's running down.
You have been a big fan of Tesla in the past. Would you be a buyer of the stock now?
Yeah, I was surprised you referenced before, I think Barclays had downgraded them in a way. What Tesla continues to show is that they're at the forefront of innovation. They don't trade on traditional metrics. They don't trade as a multiple of earnings. They don't even actually reference car sales a lot in their communications. What they reference is innovation, efficiency, low-cost provider, which I think is important, and that's what's really driving adoption here. And I think, we like to talk about Steve Jobs never aspired to be a cell phone salesman. You never know what your business is going to mature to be. And Tesla might have just backed themselves into a $5 billion global market for charging infrastructure. What's the value of ExxonMobil's or Shell Oil's pump stations? These are really core infrastructure in North America. And Tesla kind of just got anointed as the one that's going to be providing it. So what's that mean for convenience stores? What's that mean for real estate? That's just a whole new line of revenue that isn't contemplated by traditional equity analysts.
What about yourself? Have you gone electric yet? Have you taken the plunge?
I've driven a lot of electric vehicles and I love them. I think that the modern uses of scooters are great. The F-150 iteration is amazing. I do not own a Tesla, although I'm a huge fan of Tesla and their innovation. And I think that in the future, this might be the first step towards the Fords and the GMs of the world using Tesla batteries, using Tesla chassis. Elon continues to talk about how all Tesla cars are going to have the same base chassis. And the only difference in a Tesla car is going to be the body style and the user interface. What's to say that my Ford F-150 in the future, my Lightning isn't built on a Tesla chassis? Like, where does this end? The adoption and the innovation lies with Tesla, and the capitulation only begins with the charging infrastructure.